Alex woke up to the faint hum of the space station. The sunlight filtering through the large window made the white metal walls of the apartment gleam like polished silver. Today was a big day. Not only was it Monday, the day Alex usually despised, but also the day a new roommate would arrive. And this was not just any roommate. This was Zorblax, an alien from the quarry species. Alex stretched, rubbed his eyes, and sighed. "Hope they're not too weird," he muttered, glancing at the empty side of the room. "Weird aliens are a little scary." Almost on cue, the door buzzed. "Hello, human," came a voice that sounded like a mixture of singing and buzzing, slightly robotic yet oddly musical. Alex opened the door. Standing there was Zorblax. They were tall, with long, slender limbs, translucent skin that shimmered faintly, and eyes so big and black they seemed to reflect the whole room. Tentacle-like fingers waved politely. Hi," Alex said. "I'm Alex, you must be Zorblax." "I am Zorblax of the quarry," the alien replied, bowing deeply. "I have traveled thousands of light years to study." "Humans," Alex blinked. "Study humans?" Zorblax tilted their head. "Yes, your species is fascinating. Your reproductive processes, your social bonding, all are data I must collect." Alex choked on his coffee.
"Wait, what?"
Zorblax seemed oblivious to Alex's reaction. They stepped inside and began examining the apartment with rapid movements, touching things carefully, occasionally muttering words in a language Alex could not understand. "So, you want to study humans?" Alex said slowly, trying to sound casual. "Like, biology class?" Zorblax's eyes glimmered. "More than a class. I need to understand how humans reproduce. Every step, every ritual, every interaction." Alex coughed and glanced at the ceiling. "Okay, maybe I'll start small. Want some breakfast?" Zorblax looked at the kitchen with fascination. "Yes, food is also a form of human expression. I will observe your preparation methods." As Alex scrambled eggs and poured orange juice, Zorblax hovered nearby, watching every motion. They tilted their head when Alex cracked the eggs, tapped the carton repeatedly, and then scribbled notes on a small glowing tablet. You write all this down?" Alex asked. "Do you do this for everything?" "Everything," Zorblax replied. "To understand humans, I must record actions, analyze patterns, and simulate processes." Alex paused. "Simulate?" Zorblax nodded eagerly. "Yes, I will replicate human behavior in my lab. Observing only is insufficient." Alex set the breakfast plate on the table. "Well, I guess you're in for a lot of observing. Humans do a lot of weird stuff." Zorblax's eyes widened. "Weird is subjective. What you call weird may be data of high importance," Alex laughed. "Fair enough. Let's start small. You'll see humans do normal stuff first. Breakfast, work, talk, laugh, and yes, weird stuff too." The day went on slowly, but Zorblax's fascination never wavered. Every time Alex yawned, laughed, or sneezed, Zorblax would make rapid notes. "Why do humans cover their mouths when sneezing?" Zorblax asked. "To not spread germs?" Alex replied. "It's polite." "Polite. Interesting. Efficiency and social bonding combined," Zorblax murmured. Then came the moment Alex dreaded. Zorblax, there's something I should warn you about. Humans have relationships, like romantic ones," Alex said carefully, trying to measure the words. Zorblax's head tilted sharply. "Romantic? Relationships? Are these part of reproductive procedures?" Alex felt his face heat up. Yeah, kind of. But it's more than just biology. There's feelings involved." Zorblax's eyes widened. "Feelings? Are these measurable?" "Sort of, but mostly complicated," Alex said. He paused. "It's not something I can fully explain." Zorblax's tentacle-like fingers twitched. "Complicated, excellent. This is precisely what I must study." Alex groaned. "You do realize this is personal, right?" Zorblax nodded, unfazed. "Personal data is essential to understanding humans." Over the next few hours, Zorblax began observing everything Alex did. How he cleaned dishes, how he watered the plants, even how he paced when thinking. It was all cataloged in glowing tablets and strange holographic displays. "Why do humans tell jokes?" Zorblax asked suddenly. Alex raised an eyebrow. For fun? To bond? To be social?" Zorblax scribbled furiously. "Bonding, social? Yes. These elements must play a role in reproduction, I hypothesize." Alex nearly spat out his coffee. "Wait, what? No. Jokes aren't about reproduction. Then why do humans exchange jokes in pairs? Zorblax asked. Alex pinched the bridge of his nose. Pairs, yeah. Okay, sometimes, but it's more about liking each other, being friends. Zorblax nodded as if a revelation had struck. Liking each other. This emotional component must be quantified, Alex sighed. I think you're overthinking it. Zorblax tilted their head, a small shimmer of amusement or maybe curiosity passing across their translucent face. Overthinking? Possibly. But logic dictates that understanding reproduction requires understanding all contributing factors, emotional or otherwise. Alex looked around the apartment, imagining all the chaos this would create in a colony-wide human-alien study. You really mean all this seriously, huh? Zorblax nodded, as serious as a being whose entire species could communicate through light patterns could look. Completely serious. Humans are fascinating. By evening, Alex had cooked dinner and sat down with Zorblax, trying to explain some basic human behaviors without causing too much alarm. Look, Alex said, humans like to spend time together. We hug, we laugh, we sometimes kiss. It's not just for reproduction. It's, I don't know, bonding, trust, friendship. That's important too. Zorblax's eyes reflected every flicker of light in the room. Fascinating. So reproduction is not solely biological, but deeply intertwined with social mechanisms, Alex nodded. Yeah, exactly. It's complicated. Zorblax scribbled rapidly again. Complicated, excellent. Complexity increases data value. Alex laughed, shaking his head. You really do make everything sound like a science experiment. Zorblax paused, looking genuinely puzzled. Is it not a science experiment? Observing a new species, understanding their social and biological systems. How is this not scientific? Well, it's my life, Alex said. And you're observing it like a lab rat. Zorblax's black, shiny eyes tilted toward him. Lab rat. Amusing metaphor. You, Alex, are my primary specimen. Alex groaned, flopping onto the couch. This is going to be a long stay. Zorblax hummed a melodic tune that sounded suspiciously like laughter. I believe it will be enlightening for both of us. And with that, Zorblax began setting up a small corner of the room with observation equipment. Glowing tablets, holographic projectors, and devices that made quiet beeping sounds. Alex watched as his apartment slowly transformed into a hybrid of living space and alien laboratory. As night fell and the station's lights dimmed, Alex realized something. Living with an alien who wanted to understand humans, really understand them, was going to be far weirder than he had ever imagined. And somehow, he was also a little excited. Zorblax hummed softly from the corner, clearly content. Humans, you are far more intricate than I anticipated. Tomorrow we begin with pair observation. I must understand your romantic processes. Alex groaned again. Great. Can't wait. But deep down, he knew life with Zorblax would never be boring, and somehow he had a feeling that the alien would learn far more about humans than just biology. The adventure had begun. The morning sun crept over the horizon, casting long golden rays across the space station's metallic corridors. Alex yawned and rubbed his eyes. After a night of Zorblax humming strange melodies in the corner and occasionally tapping on glowing holographic devices, sleep had been minimal. Yet despite the fatigue, Alex couldn't help but feel a sense of curiosity. Living with an alien studying humans was unusual, to say the least. Good morning, human. Zorblax's melodic voice rang from the corner. They were already upright, eyes gleaming, fingers twisting in complicated patterns. Today we begin the study of your romantic and social interactions. I must understand the rituals preceding reproduction. Alex groaned. Romantic interactions already? It's barely morning. Zorblax tilted their head. Time is irrelevant to data collection. Observing early behaviors will provide the most accurate baseline. Alex reluctantly got out of bed and poured coffee into a cup. Fine, but you need to understand most human interactions aren't systematic. They're messy, emotional, and unpredictable. Zorblax's large eyes blinked slowly. Messy, emotional, unpredictable. Excellent. Variables increase data quality. The first experiment of the day started innocently enough. Breakfast. Alex invited a friend over, hoping Zorblax could observe without causing too much trouble. His friend Jenna was bubbly and cheerful with a laugh that made Alex smile every time. Hey Zorblax, Alex said nervously as Jenna sat down. This is my friend Jenna. She comes over a lot. Don't, freak out. Zorblax extended a tentacle in greeting, which Jenna shook without hesitation. Hello, Corey, she said. I've heard a lot about you. Zorblax's eyes sparkled. Affirmative. You are part of the social network of my human subject. Observation begins. Alex slumped into his chair and muttered, Oh boy. Here we go. The meal started normally. They ate scrambled eggs, toast, and fruit. Zorblax watched every gesture. The way Jenna poured her juice. The way Alex gestured while talking. The small touches between them, like a brief pat on the shoulder. Humans communicate through touch and gesture, Zorblax murmured to themselves. This may be linked to reproductive bonding. Alex nearly choked on toast. Wait, what? Observation only, Zorblax replied calmly. No assumptions. Yet. But Jenna noticed Zorblax scribbling rapidly on glowing tablets. Is your roommate like a scientist or something? She asked Alex. Something like that, Alex said, rubbing the back of his neck. They study humans. Everything about humans, Jenna raised an eyebrow. Everything? Alex grimaced. Yeah, everything. Zorblax, ignoring the conversation, suddenly leaned forward. Tell me, human, do you exchange affection prior to reproductive activity? Alex froze. Zorblax, not in front of... Jenna blinked, looking both confused and amused. Reproductive activity? Wait, you mean dating? Yes, romantic bonding, Zorblax replied. I must catalog all relevant interactions. Alex groaned. This is going to be a long day. After breakfast, Zorblax decided to attempt their first human replication. Alex returned from a short shower to find his living room filled with floating holograms of humans holding hands, hugging, and laughing. Zorblax. What are you doing? Alex asked, half amused, half terrified. Simulating human social interactions, Zorblax said proudly. I must understand the sequence of actions, the gestures, the timing, the emotional components. I am recreating your bonding rituals. Alex blinked at the holograms. You're literally projecting us doing all that stuff and trying to figure it out scientifically? Yes, Zorblax replied. Humans are complex. My simulations must match reality as closely as possible. Alex pinched the bridge of his nose. And how accurate is this simulation exactly? Zorblax's eyes glimmered. Approximately 97.3%. I am fine-tuning the remaining 2.7%, which involves understanding subtle emotional cues. Alex groaned. 2.7%. That's a lot. The real chaos began when Zorblax decided to practice human dating rituals themselves. Alex, Zorblax said that evening, I wish to participate in bonding. I will perform the actions I have observed. Alex froze. Wait, you're going to try to date? Not date in the human sense, Zorblax clarified. I am only simulating the behavior to collect more data. Alex exhaled slowly, then reluctantly nodded. Okay, fine. But you need to understand. Humans do not approach bonding like science. It's emotional, sometimes awkward, sometimes messy. Just follow my lead, Zorblax nodded. I will follow your lead. The experiment began. Alex instructed Zorblax to smile, wave, and introduce themselves politely to a neighbor visiting the station. Zorblax did exactly as instructed, but with an eerie precision. The neighbor, a tall alien with green skin and 6 eyes, stared in shock. You are precise, the neighbor said slowly. Yes, Zorblax replied. Human bonding protocol enacted. Alex buried his face in his hands. You're going to traumatize everyone. Then came the hug experiment. Alex demonstrated a friendly human hug. Zorblax extended multiple tentacles instead of arms and wrapped them around Alex in a way that almost resembled a small cage. Friendly hug complete, Zorblax announced proudly. Alex gasped. Friendly? I can barely breathe. Zorblax paused. Adjustment necessary. Must replicate human subtlety. Hours passed with Zorblax attempting and failing repeatedly to bond like humans. Every attempt was logical, precise, and slightly terrifying. Alex couldn't help but laugh at the ridiculousness of it all. By the end of the day, Alex realized Zorblax's methods, though completely alien, highlighted something humans often overlooked. How much effort and subtlety went into emotional bonds. Humans could improvise, adapt, and communicate feelings without even realizing it. Zorblax, in their precise way, was proving humanity's uniqueness. Alex, Zorblax said finally, tentacles folded neatly. I believe humans are remarkable. Your bonding rituals are inefficient but effective, highly adaptive, and your emotional complexity unparalleled, Alex chuckled. Well, thank you. I think. Zorblax tilted their head. Do you have other humans I may observe? There are many variables to account for. Pair bonding, group bonding, familial interactions, friendships. Alex laughed. You want to observe everything, don't you? Yes, Zorblax replied. Humans are extraordinary. I must understand them fully. Alex shook his head, smiling. Extraordinary is one way to put it. Weird, confusing, hilarious. Yeah, that's humans too. Zorblax hummed in agreement. Weirdness, an essential trait of your species. I must record this as a positive trait. Alex flopped onto the couch, exhausted but amused. Living with Zorblax was exhausting, yes, but it was also a reminder of what made humans special. Adaptability, humor, and emotional depth. Tomorrow, Alex said, we're going to interact with more humans. But maybe we'll keep the experiments a little low-key. Zorblax's eyes glimmered. Low-key is subjective, but I will comply. Tentatively. Humans are still highly interesting. Alex smiled, realizing that despite all the chaos, he was learning something too. Zorblax, in their strange, logical way, was showing him a new perspective on humans. Precise, fascinating, and worth studying. As the lights dimmed in the apartment, Alex glanced at Zorblax, who was already organizing glowing charts of human gestures, smiles, and tiny acts of kindness. He couldn't help but laugh softly. Life with an alien roommate was going to be weird, hilariously weird. The space station's artificial sun glimmered over the metallic corridors as Alex prepared breakfast. The smell of toasted bread and sizzling eggs filled the small apartment. Zorblax hovered nearby, tentacles crossed, eyes focused on every human motion. The alien's glowing tablets were filled with countless observations, gestures, smiles, small social cues, and bizarre patterns Alex hadn't even realized he did. Today, Zorblax announced in their musical tone, we will continue observations of human social bonding. I intend to understand, fully, your reproductive and emotional mechanisms. Alex sighed, pouring himself a cup of orange juice. Fully? We've been at this for 3 days. Can't you take a break? Zorblax tilted their head. Breaks reduce efficiency, and humans are intricate. I must continue, Alex shook his head, smiling. You're relentless, I'll give you that. As Alex sat down with his breakfast, he noticed Zorblax staring at him unusually intently. Why do humans express feelings through humor? Zorblax asked suddenly, their voice melodic but curious. Alex blinked. Humor, it's like a bridge. It helps us connect. People feel closer when they laugh together. Sometimes it's flirting, sometimes friendship. Zorblax scribbled rapidly on their tablet. Bridge, a connection. Multifaceted. Your species is inefficient yet elegant. Humor serves multiple purposes simultaneously. Alex laughed, shaking his head. I guess that makes sense. To humans, Zorblax's eyes gleamed. I will attempt to simulate humor next. Observing is insufficient. I must replicate your emotional expressions, Alex groaned. Oh no, please don't try to be funny. You'll scare the neighbors. The morning passed with small exercises in communication and expression. Alex demonstrated handshakes, casual touches, friendly teasing, and laughter. Zorblax mimicked every movement with unnerving precision, but something unexpected happened. The alien began to notice patterns Alex had never considered. Alex, Zorblax said quietly, humans are adaptive. When one method of communication fails, you invent another. You improvise gestures, expressions, and tones to maintain connection. Alex blinked. Well, yeah, that's kind of what humans do. We figure things out. Zorblax's eyes shimmered. Figure things out. Through cooperation, observation, and creativity. Fascinating. Alex sipped his juice, realizing Zorblax wasn't just observing, they were learning. And in the process, Alex himself was thinking about humans differently. Creativity? Alex asked. You mean, humans aren't just animals following instincts? Zorblax hummed. Correct. You innovate. You adapt. Even in reproduction, emotional intelligence and problem-solving are inseparable from biology. Your species is Extraordinary. Alex smiled, feeling a strange sense of pride. Extraordinary. Yeah, we kind of are. Later that day, Zorblax attempted a social experiment. Alex invited two friends over, Maria and Liam. Both were completely human, full of energy, laughter, and charm. Zorblax observed silently, eyes scanning every gesture, every tone, every moment of interaction. Maria complimented Alex on his cooking. Liam told a funny story about a clumsy robot on the station. Alex laughed, rolling his eyes at the absurdity. Zorblax's eyes widened. Alex, Zorblax whispered, observe this. Social reinforcement. Positive responses encourage repetition of behaviors. Humans manipulate social cues to strengthen bonds. Alex blinked. Manipulate? More like influence? Yes, Zorblax said. Influence. Using emotional intelligence to shape outcomes, ingenious. Alex couldn't help but smile. Yeah, humans do that a lot, I guess. As the evening approached, Zorblax became bolder. Tentacles curled around the glowing tablet as they started analyzing patterns beyond mere social rituals. They noticed Alex comforting Maria after she spilled juice on the floor, Liam helping Alex adjust a chair, and the small gestures of patience, kindness, and subtle humor that humans used constantly. These are not strictly logical, Zorblax muttered almost to themselves. Yet they are effective. Humans are efficient through inefficiency. Emotional complexity enhances survival and bonding. Alex tilted his head. Efficient through inefficiency, that's kind of poetic, Zorblax blinked. Poetic? I do not comprehend. It means, Alex said, smiling, humans are complicated, but it works. You can't just reduce it to logic. We adapt in ways that make sense emotionally, socially, creatively. Zorblax paused. For the first time, their glowing eyes dimmed slightly as if processing a revelation. Emotional intelligence, creativity, improvisation, survival, this is not just reproduction, Zorblax murmured. It is the foundation of your species' success. Humans, you're remarkable. Alex felt a warm glow of pride. Yeah, we kind of are. The next day, Zorblax decided to take their learning further. They asked Alex to show them group bonding, the way humans cooperate, laugh, and problem-solve together. Alex arranged a small game night with several friends, including board games, snacks, and silly competitions. Zorblax watched intently, analyzing every laugh, every gesture, every act of kindness or cleverness. When a dispute arose over the rules of a game, Alex mediated calmly, explaining logic and fairness. Alex, Zorblax said, observe how humans resolve conflict. Not through dominance, but negotiation, reasoning, and compromise. Emotional intelligence applied to problem-solving. Ingenious. Alex smiled, impressed that Zorblax was actually starting to understand humans beyond biology. Yeah, that's what makes us human. During the night, when everyone had left, Zorblax turned to Alex. Alex, I have discovered something extraordinary, Zorblax said softly. Humans do not rely solely on instinct. You innovate, you empathize, you solve problems creatively, and you use social mechanisms to strengthen bonds. Your reproductive processes are inseparable from emotional and social intelligence. Alex leaned back in the chair, nodding. Yeah, that's kind of the point. We're a little more than instincts and biology. We build, we laugh, we bond. That's what makes humans, humans. Zorblax's tentacles twitched in a pattern that Alex had come to recognize as curiosity and admiration. You are not only efficient but also adaptable, resilient, and clever. Humans, I understand now. Your species deserves observation, respect, even admiration. Alex laughed softly. Admiration? I like the sound of that. Over the next few days, Zorblax became less mechanical in their observations. They began asking questions not just about gestures or rituals, but about feelings, intentions, and the reasons humans acted the way they did. Alex, Zorblax asked one afternoon, why do humans sometimes act illogically yet achieve success? Alex shrugged. Sometimes it's intuition or creativity or just luck. We improvise when logic fails or when emotions guide us better than rules. Humans have a way of making it work even when it shouldn't. Zorblax's eyes glimmered. Improvise. Adapt. Survive. This is beyond biological imperatives. This is ingenuity. Alex grinned. Exactly. And that's why humans are special. For the first time, Zorblax paused their recording and simulations. They simply watched Alex interact with friends, with laughter, with jokes, and with kindness. And slowly, the alien realized that humans' true power wasn't just in their biology, but in their creativity, social intelligence, and ability to bond in ways no other species in the galaxy had mastered. "Alex," Zorblax finally said, "I believe I understand. Humans do not merely survive. You thrive. Through connection, creativity, humor, and cooperation, you are remarkable in every sense." Alex leaned back, feeling a sense of pride swell in his chest. "Yeah, we are. And now you get to witness it firsthand." Zorblax hummed softly, a sound Alex had come to associate with wonder. "I do not merely witness. I am learning. I am inspired. Humans are extraordinary. My studies were meant to understand reproduction, but I have discovered a species capable of far more than I imagined." Alex laughed, shaking his head. "Well, that's humans for you. Messy, funny, clever, and sometimes ridiculous. But somehow, we make it work." Zorblax's eyes shimmered in agreement. "Yes, you make it work. And that is the essence of humanity. I will document this as the defining trait of your species: creativity, emotional intelligence, adaptability. These are your ultimate strengths." Alex smiled, feeling a sense of pride he hadn't realized he needed. "Welcome to humanity, Zorblax. It's not perfect, but it's ours." Zorblax hummed, their glow dimming to a softer shade as if contemplating the incredible complexity of humans, and Alex knew that their alien roommate would never look at humans the same way again. The next morning, Alex woke to the usual hum of the space station and the faint glow of Zorblax's tablets. But today felt different. The alien was unusually excited, tentacles twitching, eyes sparkling like black stars reflecting light. "Alex," Zorblax said in their melodic voice, "I have formulated a plan. I wish to integrate query logic with human social behavior to test optimization potential." Alex groaned, rubbing his eyes. "Optimization? That sounds dangerous. Last time you tried to simulate dating, the neighbors almost called the station security." "Danger is irrelevant to discovery," Zorblax replied, floating toward the table. "I wish to explore how query methodology may enhance human interaction efficiency." Alex pinched the bridge of his nose. "Efficiency, yes. That's exactly what humans need, right?" he muttered sarcastically. Zorblax ignored the sarcasm. "We begin with small experiments. Step 1. Communication protocols. I will teach humans to express needs through structured sequences rather than improvisation." Alex sighed. "Structured sequences. This is going to end in chaos, isn't it?" The first experiment started with Alex's friend Jenna, who had returned for breakfast. Zorblax demonstrated a perfect human interaction protocol, using precise gestures, measured tones, and strict eye contact sequences. "Observe," Zorblax instructed. "These steps maximize clarity and minimize misunderstanding." Jenna blinked, unsure if she should laugh or comply. Alex groaned. "Zorblax, humans aren't robots. We improvise. We laugh. We make mistakes." "Improvisation introduces inefficiency," Zorblax replied logically. "I am testing an alternative method." Jenna hesitated but followed the instructions. The result was awkward. She smiled in the wrong moment, spoke too formally, and even handed over her toast with an extra bow. Alex nearly fell off his chair laughing. "Efficiency doesn't mean happiness," Alex exclaimed. Zorblax tilted their head. "Happiness. Subjective. Observation continues." Alex laughed despite himself. "Yeah, good luck with that." After breakfast, Zorblax moved on to group bonding optimization. They invited Alex's friends Maria and Liam for a game session, intending to structure play and social interactions like a carefully coded program. "Each participant will follow protocol steps 1 through 15, Zorblax announced. "Conflict resolution is achieved through predefined sequences rather than spontaneous negotiation." Alex muttered. "Step 1. Do not traumatize humans. Step 2. Do not traumatize humans. Step 3. The game started. Zorblax instructed each player when to laugh, how to respond to jokes, and when to cheer. At first, everyone followed along obediently, curious but amused. Then came the first test, a dispute over a game rule. Zorblax stepped in. Conflict detected. Step 7. Express disagreement in a neutral tone. Step 8. Propose alternative resolution. Step 9. Affirm acknowledgement of others' logic. Maria blinked. Uh, are we playing a game or attending a seminar? Liam laughed. I feel like I need a flowchart to respond to a dice roll. Alex buried his face in his hands. I warned you. Despite the chaos, something remarkable happened. The structured approach highlighted how humans naturally combined logic with emotion. Even while following alien instructions, the friends innovated, adjusted rules spontaneously, and still maintained fun. Zorblax observed silently, eyes widening. Humans, inefficiency produces adaptability. Protocols are respected yet modified creatively. Fascinating. Alex peeked from behind his hand. See? We don't need structure, we make it work anyway. Zorblax hummed, scribbling furiously on their glowing tablet. Data confirms. Humans excel when creativity interacts with minimal structure. Efficiency is secondary to adaptability. By evening, Zorblax moved to step 3 of their experiment, emotional expression analysis. They instructed Alex to demonstrate casual affection among humans. Alex invited Liam and Maria again and asked them to engage in small acts of kindness, complimenting each other, sharing snacks, and telling jokes. Zorblax watched every gesture with intensity, comparing it to quarry social logic. Humans demonstrate complex emotional reinforcement, Zorblax noted. Even trivial gestures strengthen bonds. Efficiency is irrelevant. Outcomes are superior through repetition and emotional richness. Alex nodded. Exactly. You can't quantify some things, humans. They thrive in ways you can't measure. Zorblax paused, their glowing eyes dimming slightly as if reflecting on this revelation. Unquantifiable, yet effective. Humans are extraordinary. The friends laughed, joked, and improvised. Zorblax noticed subtle acts. Maria reassuring Liam after a silly mistake. Alex complimenting Maria on her strategic game move. Liam sharing a funny story unrelated to the game. Humans, Zorblax murmured. You integrate social, emotional, and cognitive elements seamlessly. Reproduction and bonding are inseparable from broader ingenuity. Alex smiled, leaning back. See? We're more than instincts and rules. We adapt, cooperate, and create solutions naturally. Zorblax's tentacles twitched. Observation complete. Humans excel through emotional intelligence and adaptive creativity. Your species. Remarkable. But the cultural exchange wasn't one-sided. Zorblax began introducing quarry logic into daily routines. Tentacles moved with precision, holographic displays guided everyone, and sequences for efficiency were suggested for cooking, cleaning, and communication. Alex groaned. Zorblax, cleaning isn't a competition, and cooking isn't a lab experiment. Zorblax ignored him. Efficiency is a universal principle. Humans may benefit from structured timing and optimized sequences. To Alex's surprise, the friends tried it. They followed step-by-step instructions for making sandwiches, washing dishes, and setting the table. Everything went smoothly, and Zorblax recorded the results with satisfaction. Efficiency improves output, Zorblax said. Yet, human satisfaction remains unchanged. Intriguing, Alex chuckled. See, you can optimize, but we're happiest with flexibility. That's the human factor, Zorblax hummed thoughtfully.
Flexibility.
Adaptive efficiency. Perhaps humans combine logic and creativity in ways quarry cannot. Alex laughed. Exactly. That's what I've been saying. By night, Zorblax reflected quietly. They had conducted experiments, integrated quarry logic, and attempted to optimize human routines. Yet every time a structured protocol was applied, humans adapted, laughed, and improvised in ways that no logic alone could predict. Alex, Zorblax said softly, I believed I would improve human behavior through quarry methodology. Yet humans improve themselves through improvisation, connection, and creativity. Your species adapts beyond expectation, Alex smiled. Yep, that's humans. Messy, weird, but brilliant. Zorblax paused. Emotional intelligence, adaptability, creativity. Humans do not merely survive. They thrive. Their reproductive processes are inseparable from ingenuity. Humans. Remarkable. Alex leaned back, finally realizing what Zorblax had been trying to teach him too. That humans' uniqueness wasn't just in their biology, but in how they used intelligence, emotion, and creativity together. Zorblax floated silently, tentacles curled, glowing softly. I have not only studied humans, I have learned from them. Their adaptability, problem-solving, and bonding rituals are Extraordinary humans. I admire your species, Alex laughed softly. Well, thank you. I guess we deserve some admiration. And with that, the apartment settled into a calm rhythm. Zorblax continued to observe, but their approach had changed. They were no longer merely recording data. They were learning, appreciating, and even marveling at humans. Alex realized that through the aliens' experiments, he had gained a deeper understanding of humans, too. They were clever, resilient, and creative, traits that no alien protocol could replicate. Tomorrow, Alex said, we're going to explore more human interactions. But maybe we'll do it with less structure. Zorblax's eyes glimmered. Structure is relative. Observation continues. But humans, I now understand why you thrive. Your species. Remarkable, Alex laughed. Yep, we really are. For the first time, Alex felt that Zorblax wasn't just a roommate or a study subject. They were a student of humanity, learning lessons that no alien logic could predict. And Alex realized that through this strange cultural exchange, both of them were discovering something extraordinary, what it truly meant to be human. The apartment was quiet in the early morning, except for the soft hum of the space station and the gentle clicking of Zorblax's tentacles on their glowing tablets. Alex yawned, stretching and rubbing his eyes. Today was different. He could feel it. Zorblax had been unusually focused, and there was a sense of anticipation in the air. Alex, Zorblax said, their melodic voice brighter than usual. I have completed the final phase of my human study. I wish to share my conclusions, and perhaps extend recognition of your species' capabilities. Alex raised an eyebrow, blinking sleep from his eyes. Recognition, you mean, like a certificate? Zorblax tilted their head. Not a certificate, a declaration. The Quarry Council will be informed of human ingenuity, creativity, and adaptability. Your species will be acknowledged as exemplary. Alex choked on his coffee. Wait. The Quarry Council? Yes, Zorblax replied. They will learn that humans are not merely instinct-driven creatures. Your methods of bonding, problem-solving, and emotional intelligence surpass many species' expectations. Alex stared at Zorblax, stunned. You're going to tell the galaxy about us? Affirmative. Your species has demonstrated resilience, adaptability, and creativity beyond prediction. This must be shared. Alex laughed, shaking his head. Well, I didn't think breakfast would lead to galactic fame. Zorblax's tentacles twitched. Observations began with meals, moved through bonding rituals, and concluded with full social interaction analysis. Humans, remarkable. That afternoon, Alex invited a small group of friends to the apartment. They were curious about Zorblax's latest project, which had transformed part of the living room into a mini laboratory filled with holographic displays and glowing charts. Zorblax wants to show us something, Alex explained. Apparently we're amazing. The friends laughed, amused. Amazing? We're just humans, Jenna said, shaking her head. Zorblax floated to the center of the room. Friends of Alex, the alien said in their melodic tone. Today I will demonstrate findings of my study. Humans are not merely biological entities. You excel in social bonding, creativity, problem-solving, and emotional intelligence. These traits make you exemplary. Alex stifled a laugh. You're serious? Entirely serious, Zorblax replied. Observation and analysis confirm. Humans combine emotional intelligence and creativity to thrive in ways no other species can. You are resilient, adaptive, and ingenious. The friends exchanged wide-eyed glances, unsure whether to laugh or bow. Liam shrugged. I guess we're kind of clever? Yes, Zorblax said, and remarkably unpredictable. Your ingenuity is unparalleled. My studies began with reproduction, but the true discovery is broader. Humans are extraordinary. Zorblax demonstrated a series of holographic simulations, showing Alex and his friends how humans solved social conflicts, adapted to unexpected situations, and created bonding rituals that strengthened communities. Every small gesture, every Joke, every act of kindness was highlighted as a testament to humanity's unique qualities. Observe, Zorblack said, how humans respond to errors or surprises. You do not fail. You adapt. You improvise. Your species thrives because of creativity intertwined with emotional intelligence. Alex nodded, impressed that the alien had captured the essence of humanity so accurately. Yeah, that's us. Messy, weird, but we make it work. Zorblax's tentacles twitched in what Alex had come to recognize as admiration. Messy, yes. Yet efficiency is achieved through innovation. Human ingenuity, remarkable. Jenna leaned forward, curious. So, all of this, you're saying we're better than we thought? Zorblax's eyes glimmered. Better is relative. You are exceptional. Your species deserves recognition, not just for reproduction, but for creativity, cooperation, and adaptability. Humans are exemplary, Alex laughed. Wow, all this started because you were curious about how we, do it? Yes, Zorblax replied solemnly. Reproduction was the entry point. The ultimate discovery is broader. Humans thrive through intelligence, emotion, and connection. You are extraordinary. The rest of the day became a celebration of humanity, as seen through Zorblax's eyes. Alex's friends participated in improvisation exercises, games, and storytelling. Zorblax observed and occasionally offered optimization suggestions that were surprisingly practical. Timing of laughter enhances group cohesion, Zorblax noted. Sharing small successes reinforces bonding. This is logical and emotional integration. Alex laughed. See, we already do this naturally. You just formalized it. Zorblax tilted their head. Formalization is unnecessary. Observation is sufficient to appreciate human brilliance. Maria smiled, touching Alex's shoulder. I've never been studied by an alien before, she said. This is weirdly amazing. Alex chuckled. Yeah, welcome to our world. Zorblax hummed melodically, documenting every interaction. But unlike previous sessions, the focus wasn't on strict data collection. Now, it was on understanding the spirit of humanity, creativity, adaptability, humor, and kindness. Later, Alex and Zorblax sat together, watching the stars beyond the space station's windows. The aliens' glow was softer than usual, as if they were quietly reflecting on everything they had learned. Alex, Zorblax said softly, I have shared my findings with the Quarry Council. They are astonished. They did not anticipate such complexity in a species. Alex smiled. Well, we humans like to surprise people. Yes, Zorblax replied, but it is more than surprise. Your species demonstrates ingenuity, adaptability, and emotional depth in all aspects of life. Even your flaws are strengths because they inspire creativity and resilience. Alex laughed softly. I like that. Flaws as strengths. That's humans in a nutshell. Zorblax hummed. I will continue to study humans, Alex, not for reproduction alone, but for the entirety of your remarkable capabilities. I now admire your species, and perhaps I am learning what it means to appreciate life itself. Alex shook his head, smiling. You really are full of surprises too, Zorblax. Over the following weeks, Zorblax's studies became less invasive and more collaborative. They joined in games, shared jokes, and even helped organize meals and cleaning in what Alex realized were subtle, quarry-optimized routines, but without stripping away humanity's natural creativity. Alex noticed something remarkable. Zorblax was not just observing humans, they were becoming part of the community, learning, laughing, and even improvising alongside them. You adapt faster than expected, Zorblax said one evening, helping Liam assemble a complicated puzzle. Humans are remarkable teachers. Your creativity is contagious. Alex smiled. And you've learned to appreciate humans, not just observe them. Yes, Zorblax replied. Your species thrives through connection, creativity, and resilience. I now understand why humans endure and excel where others fail. Humans. Exemplary. Finally, one evening, Zorblak stood in the middle of the apartment, eyes glowing warmly, tentacles arranged gracefully. Alex and his friends gathered around, curious. I have one final declaration, Zorblak announced. Humans are not merely biological creatures. You are innovators, improvisers, and connectors. Your species excels through emotional intelligence, social bonding, and adaptability. You thrive not through brute force but through creativity, cooperation, and kindness. Humans, you are extraordinary. The galaxy should recognize your brilliance. Alex laughed, shaking his head. Well, I guess we made it official. Humanity rocks, Jenna smiled. Who knew having an alien roommate could boost our ego? Liam chuckled. Yeah, we're amazing. And now Zorblak says it officially. Zorblak's melodic humming filled the room. Official recognition is secondary. True admiration comes from understanding. And I understand humans. Your species is exceptional. Alex leaned back, feeling a profound sense of pride. Through all the chaos, the laughter, and the strange experiments, one thing was clear. Humans were indeed remarkable. Not because of what they did biologically, but because of how they lived, adapted, and thrived through intelligence, creativity, and emotional depth. And for Zorblak, the alien who had come to study them, this understanding had transformed curiosity into respect, observation into admiration, and experiments into friendship. As the lights of the space station dimmed and the stars sparkled outside the window, Alex realized that life with Zorblak had taught him something profound. That humanity's true strength was not only in survival, but in the extraordinary ways humans connected, created, and thrived together. Humans. Extraordinary, Zorblak whispered, almost to themselves. I am proud to know you. Alex laughed softly, shaking his head. And we're proud to have you with us, Zorblak. Welcome to humanity. The apartment was quiet, warm, and full of life, a perfect reflection of the species that had amazed an alien, and a reminder that humans, in all their messy, hilarious, clever glory, were indeed extraordinary